Alright everyone, we're back with the Mega Military Odyssey. We're going to finish off the last 3 maps, and then we will be chillin'. I also noticed that one of you recommended that or asked that if I could do the medium difficulty, and I will happily do so right after this video. So, Admiral Brickle right in the middle. Is there any special rules about this besides military only? No, it's just military only, 3 to 80. So I might skip ahead in some parts if I'm aiming to get like a 5th tier or something like that. But the entire time that I do that, I will not be like purchasing any other upgrades. I'll just be saving up for the one, and I won't be using any abilities, just so that you guys aren't missing out on anything except just kind of going AFK. But yeah. Alright, so Park, what's this one called? Park Path? Park Place? I think Park Place might be something in Monopoly. Man, I miss Monopoly. I haven't played Monopoly in ages. And I get it that it kind of like ruins friendships or whatever, but like, it's also pretty fun. You can't deny that aspect. Now, we want to place our boat around here. Not because it's got like amazing range or whatever, but because it can see this first part, this second part, and then this third part, which is what I really want because we're going to be setting up some subs, just like last time. So I think subs are going to be key to this. Admittedly, it's going to be difficult on Cracked just because we only have a tiny little space for water, much like we did on Logs, but with Logs at least we had room enough to fit in a couple boats and a sub. Didn't have room to fit everything in, but we did manage to fit in a good amount. Alright, so Admiral Brickle should be saving up a lot of these sea mines, which will be great, but sadly they disappear over a couple rounds if they're not used. Which sucks, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, so we're gonna go for Grape Shot and Hot Shot straight away, just because we kinda know that getting these before Merchantmen is like a priority most of the time. So we're just gonna do that preemptively rather than try and rush a Merchantman. But yeah, I always feel like if you go for Merchantmen, you're gonna win. Well, no. If you can successfully go for Merchantmen, you're gonna win. Because Merchantmen just give you extra money, and once you've had them out long enough that they've paid for themselves, then they're literally only a benefit to you, and it's gonna be amazing. Alright, so let's wait for this Grape Shot, and then Hot Shot, and then we can really get started. But man, these waves take a while when you're not playing Apocalypse. I'm so used to playing Apocalypse now, like, after the last map. Like, damn, that was intense in terms of DDTs, BFBs, MOABs, whatever you want to call them. That was quite a lot all at once, and it took a lot to be able to handle that. That's why I went for Merchantmen there as well, just to get that little bit of extra money that we weren't getting from the end of the rounds. But yeah, now that I've just played Apocalypse, it feels kind of easy playing any other game mode. Especially going to Apocalypse around 90. Like, Apocalypse normally only asks you to go to 60, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure it does. Either 60 or 80. It never asks you to go to like 100. And it certainly doesn't ask you to go to 90. But yeah, that was crazy. Apocalypse going to 90. That was pretty intense, not gonna lie. But I think we did pretty well on it. We kept our cool, we got some 5th tiers, and we fought back everyone that tried to beat us down. Alright, yeah, I think we should be good here, because Hot Shot and Crow's Nest are an amazing combo, and anything that can sneak past them has to deal with Admiral Brickle and her truckload of mines. But yeah, this is taking a little bit of time, isn't it? It's all good, we're almost at Merchantmen, and then once we get that, the second one will come a lot quicker, and then we can start aiming for good old 5th tiers. Well, I suppose we don't really need 5th tiers if we're going to round 80 only, but it's still nice to have them. Especially if you can save up for them, you may as well. It'll make the rest of the game a lot easier. Alright. But yeah, like I was saying before, if you go the top path and then cross it with the middle, it's going to be a lot stronger than this cross path is, but you won't make any money from it. And that's the entire reason I'm doing this cross path. Because number one, this isn't too bad of a cross path between these two. And number two, Merchantmen makes me some extra money, and I love to get my 5th tiers early, if possible. Alright, so it should be this round that we get the Merchantmen upgrade. Hopefully we get it during the round and not at the end. There we go, so we can get that first little bit of extra cash. Right there, 220. Beautiful. Alright, so now we can actually start working on the second lot of our Merchantmen strategy. Now, I kind of want to put it here, but at the same time, that's where I want to put a sub. So, we're going to put him next to Admiral Brickle. Get that long range, so that he can see the entire middle section fairly nicely. And then, we know the deal. Go for that grape shot as soon as we can. Having the first Merchantman is going to help out so much. Like, look at that, he's already made almost $1,000. Just for the couple of rounds that he's been out here for us. Alright, then we get the hot shots. Okay, now we're saving up for our second Merchantman. Honestly, these guys come out so quickly. Once you get one, and you're still aiming for more, it's just going to exponentially be such a good amount of money. So amazing. Alright, so we've got fairly good protection here. They haven't even made it really past this section. So I think we're feeling alright. We can pop leads easily enough. And we're well on our way to getting the second Merchantman. I think after the second Merchantman we're going to go for a sub. And then maybe a Dartling Gunner after that. Alright, but we're fairly close to getting the Merchantman upgrade. And should be after this round. Take your time, Balloon. There we go. Merchantman. Right, now we have 440 plus 100, so around 540 income at the end of each round. We're going to put a sub as close to here as possible, so that we can give him advanced intel, so that these rounds can go by a lot quicker. Because if you don't know what advanced intel does, it basically makes it so the sub can see in the range of not only itself, but every other tower. So it means the sub can start popping balloons up here, thanks to this guy. And then, if this guy can see camo balloons, so can the sub if he's using his area. So overall, this upgrade right here is probably one of the best advanced intel. So we're going to get double guns, airburst darts, make him shoot a lot faster and do a lot more damage. And then we'll get triple guns and the Moab popping power upgrade after that. I don't remember what it's called. Something AP special armor piercing darts. There you go. I had 2 of the letters right. Alright. So we seem to be flying through the rounds a little bit more now. We're going to see how we do against the Moab, and if we do well, then we'll probably go for a 5th tier. If we're doing okay, then maybe we'll get a couple more 4th tiers first. But I think we can go for a 5th tier right about now, to be honest. It's not too big of a stretch. Okay, so there's our armor piercing darts, which, I mean, just look at it. Like, the sub has to stop shooting because it defends so well. Not against leads. Ignore that. Alright, so what should we go for? I think we'll go for a Spectre. Because overall, the Never Miss Targeting is an amazing upgrade. And look how perfectly this circle fits the map. The circle of the plane. It fits like all the way around this perfect little area here, which is amazingly good news for us. Alright, lots more darts. We'll cross it with that just because we're not doing alternate balloons around or apocalypse, so there shouldn't be any hidden camo balloons that we really need to hit. And if there is, the sub and our 2 buccaneers can handle it. Alright, so let's get this never miss targeting. And then... Okay, yeah, we handled that mob very well, so I'll see you guys when we can afford the Spectre. Alright everyone, looks like we've just about afforded the Spectre, and it's only been like, what, 10 rounds? That is all thanks to our merchantmen. Now admittedly the Spectre cannot see Camo Balloons, hence why it's not attacking right now, but soon that will not be an issue. There you go. Spectre is going to absolutely destroy, and we're also going to get a Dartling gun on top of that. Do we want it here? I think we do. Just so if they do overwhelm us and get through that little bend at the back there, it doesn't cut off our fire. So we're going to go for the usual one that I love, the Hydro Rocket pods. And we'll see how well we do with that. But overall, I think this Spectre's going to carry us and we really don't need much more. But just in case, I'm going to get these Hydro Rocket pods to deal with potential camo problems. Because although the Spectre is great, we didn't cross-path it with the camo detection, which means that 78 could be an issue in terms of the camo ceramics at the very end. So we're going to lock this guy on around here, so that he starts aiming at the top of the path, and then as the balloons go through, they get hit once, they get hit twice, they get hit 3 times, they get hit 4 times. I think that'll just about be enough for us to be satisfied with that. What else could we get? I think we want to get a sub right here. Nothing fancy, just like a energizer, no, not an energizer, a plutonium reactor. Just so that like some of the camo balloons get decamoed and then the Spectre can take them out. Because we all know the Spectre's going to be able to do insane amounts of damage to these guys. So we'll just let him pretty much finish off the rest of the game, to be honest. I mean, there's not much more else that we could get. We'll get a sniper, put him on like semi-automatic, but other than that, you really don't need much more after you get a Spectre. Alright, here comes the semi-automatic. Just look at it go. BFB gone, Moab's gone, everything else attached to it gone, and none of it got past here. So I think it's safe to say that we can handle a ZUMG. So, I will see you guys at the end of this game, because I'm pretty sure we will have no more issues throughout. If we do, I'll stop it and let you guys know. Alright everyone, we've got 46,000 cash. I've not bought a single upgrade since the last time we talked, and we're practically on round 80. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure if you guys are having any problems whatsoever, you've got around 50,000 cash to get yourself either a 5th tier sniper, or maybe an energizer if that's your thing. Or, just in general, remember that you can sell things, so if you want to get like a different boat instead, maybe something that can one-shot a ZOMG, then by all means, go for it, and it'll make your lives a lot easier. I just had the extra cash for the hell of it. Alright, let's move on to Cracked. Now, this is going to be a difficult one, because the water patch is actually blocked off at the start. So the water is actually underneath here. So we're going to have to start off with something a little bit different in order to get that unlocked, because that costs 1,000, so it's quite expensive. But I think we can get through it. Now, if this is... What difficulty is this? Medium, standard, okay. So this might be a bit tricky, because I think some of you might not have the monkey knowledge to be able to place a plane or a Dartling Gunner early. So I'm going to try and avoid that, and I'm going to try and use the sniper to start off with. Because the sniper is not a bad option to start off with. It's just, it's a little bit slow. So we'll start off with just a sniper, see how it does on round 1, just by itself. As you can see, it's pretty slow. It's almost agonizingly slow. Like, look at this. It will lose to these red balloons if there was enough of them. That's the sad part. Right? So we might need to get faster firing to help it out a little bit. Admittedly, it's still going to lose to these red balloons if it keeps coming in this amount of numbers. But we'll get even faster firing, and then I think that should help us out quite a bit in terms of damage. But yes, we should be able to start off with this sniper. So there you go. We're keeping them more at bay now. We've set him on strong so that he's aiming for the blue balloons first, making sure nothing too difficult gets in our way. And he can still one-shot blue balloons. I believe this one allows him to pop through 4 layers, which will be good. And he can also pop leads and frozen. So there you go. We're going to be aiming for that next. And then, well, to be fair, we should really be aiming to clear out this water section. But if this sniper isn't strong enough to hold for quite some time, we might not be able to get the water section cleared out. So we're going to see how this goes. Obviously, the easier way to do this would be to start off with either a Dartling Gunner or a plane if you've got the monkey knowledge for it, or if you've chosen a different hero, you can place Striker Jones immediately. Captain Churchill's gonna take a little bit more money, but obviously you can start off with them as well. But yes, we're gonna be aiming to clear out this water, or clear this rock off the water, because as you can see, there's like a little bit of blue coming through the cracks there. I don't know how great YouTube's quality is for my videos, but there's a little bit of water peeking through the cracks there, so we're going to be trying to unlock that. And also, if you have chosen the Alchemist like I have, it's not the worst tower to have popping some balloons, but usually I only use it for buffing my other towers. I don't often use it to hold back regular balloons. Okay, so we're coming up on 1,000 here. Once we get this rock cleared out of the way, we're going to be smooth sailing, because then we can put down Admiral Brickle, as well as get our boats started. And we're only going to 75 this time, so it's not going to be too difficult, and we're not going to have to verse any ZOMGs, which is going to be lovely for us. Alright, so we've got the water cleared now. I think we will go for maybe... We should really go for a boat, but I think a sub might be a bit more necessary for us here. And we are actually getting quite close here in terms of the balloons getting through. I think some of them will get through, but that's alright. We've got a few lives to spare, and we only lost 6 lives, so that's not too bad. We did manage to struggle through, only losing 6 lives, but we should do quite well from now on, because round 10's quite unique in the amount of balloons that it sends. So we will set up our boat. You might think it would be good to get Captain Brickle up first, but in this case, the sniper's not doing so great on his own. He almost lost to round 10. So we will set up a little bit of a weaker defense first, just to make sure that we can get a stronger defense later. Alright, so there we go. And Grape Shot, much like Wall of Fire for the wizard, is like a very cost-effective but very effective upgrade. So if you're ever worried, go for a Grape Shot, or go for a Wall of Fire if you've got a wizard. But I feel quite comfortable now going for Admiral Brickle, and we'll get her at the end of this round, so there you go. We can place her in the water now. So like, a lot of people don't think a sniper's gonna be great for the early game, and you'd be right. It doesn't hold off a lot of balloons for very long. Like, we would have lost to this wave easily. But it held on long enough for us to only lose 6 lives at the time, which we've regenerated thanks to the Mana Shield. By the way, if you haven't looked at my Monkey Knowledge Guide, Mana Shield is probably the best upgrade for you to get. But yeah, it held on, and we only lost 6 lives, and then even after that, we've started off doing quite well here. We managed to clear out the water, put down our good towers, and get a decent start in here. So get the hot shot, and then we'll go for the longer range. What's the next one? Something about a crow's nest, yes. Get the crow's nest so that we can see and pop camo balloons as well, because currently no one can. So there we go, now we can pop camo balloons. And now we will be saving up for our merchantman, of course. Typical me going for extra money, but look at that go. Look, the sniper actually does pretty well on the late rounds, just because all these black balloons are getting popped into blues, and all these white balloons are also getting popped into blues. So if you have him set on strong, and he's still like it's still like fairly early game, he can make a lot of the work disappear for your actual DPS towers. Like, it is crazy how good he is just as he is right now. And don't even get me started if you get larger caliber or semi-automatic. Popping a zebra balloon in one shot, quite amazing. And of course there's also the ceramic popping power and then the main Moab, but you know, that's for late game, not really early game strategies. Like, we don't really need that right now. But we seem to be doing quite well. We're going to get our merchantmen later than usual, just because we had to clear out the water and start off with a sniper. But there we go, we got our first merchantman up. So everything should be a lot faster from here, so there you go. We're going to try and get the second one fairly close to the first. Now admittedly this won't do the subs any good in terms of enhancing their range, but it will make sure we've got enough room to potentially place 2 subs. Never mind, it looks like we'll only have 1. Okay. But that's not too bad either, to be honest. 1 sub is better than no sub. Alright, so we're just about in the same position we were 4 rounds ago, where we're saving up for our merchantmen again. But, like I said before, it should be a lot quicker this time around because we already have one. Okay, we're around halfway and we've got these camo balloons, so the sniper has quickly stopped being effective thanks to the camo balloons, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm not really a fan of the middle path. Like, I know it can be good in certain situations, but for me personally, top path and bottom path, best paths. I just like the super speed of shooting at the bottom path, and then if you're only dealing 1 damage with that super speed, I don't feel like it's worth it, so you need to cross it with the top path as well. Alright, so there's our second merchantman up, and then what to go for, well, admittedly the Spectre did save us last time, so maybe we should go for that again. Could be an idea. You know what, maybe we'll upgrade our sniper a little bit more. Make him larger caliber, so he can pop zebra balloons in 1 hit. And then we'll try and make him semi-automatic, so that he can actually keep up with these guys a little bit more. Because as of right now, his fire rate is atrocious. So if we can upgrade that even just a little, I think our sniper could easily be one of our best towers. So I think it'll be maybe the round after this one, where we will get semi-automatic. Oh no, maybe not. There you go, semi-automatic. Absolutely destroys. Look at that. What balloons are there coming after us? You can hardly see them. He's even having to shoot slower because they're not coming out fast enough for him to maximize his fire rate. But there you go. Semi-automatic sniper is actually quite amazing, so we're going to leave him there. And we'll get something to do some Moab popping power. So we'll go for our plane, go top path this time, get 1,000, get the fighter plane to take out the Moab. So there you go, starts launching missiles at it. Semi-automatic sniper's got us covered for the rest of them, making us only have to kill the blue balloons. And then we'll get our Operation Dartstorm, which I think will be awesome. There we go, already doing its job. And then I like to cross this guy with the middle path, just because I feel like the bottom 2 upgrades aren't the greatest to cross path with. But obviously if you're going for a Spectre, then it's going to be a little bit more necessary. So there you go, and then we've got our merchantmen up, we've got a strong sniper up, and we're getting our Sky Shredder soon enough. I do feel like we are lacking in the damage a little bit, regardless of how well off we are. So I'm going to get a Dartling Gunner, lock him into aiming around here, just so that he hits the top path a little bit. We're going to make him focus and go down the Hydra Rocket Pods avenue, which will be great. There we go, he's cleaning up quite nicely already. Maybe aim him a little bit higher. There we go. Just so that a lot less of his darts are aimed off the side here and miss completely, and they're at least hitting some part of the track overall. So we're going to get the Hydra Rocket Pods. As you guys know, my favorite Dartling gun upgrade. And then now we're going to save up for our Sky Shredder and see how quickly we can do that. So I'll see you guys when we can afford it, or if we encounter any sort of difficulties. Alright everyone, if you've been following along at home and doing exactly what we've been doing so far, you should be able to afford the Sky Shredder now, and just in time to look at it absolutely slaughter. Alright, but obviously if you couldn't afford the Sky Shredder at the time, you could use Naval Tactics to beat that wave, or you can drop your emergency button if you have that monkey knowledge, and then aim your Dartling Gunner around. It will help out quite a lot. Or you can switch your Sniper Monkey to first instead of strong, because obviously if he can't pop a regrow balloon completely, it'll just come back and be even more of a menace. So, now that we've got our Sky Shredder up, I do believe that we should be able to finish this off quite easily, except for the ceramics. Now, ceramics will be a pretty big problem, so I think... oh, maybe we can fit 2 subs in here. So I think, for this guy, we'll go for the Plutonium Reactor, and as you can see in this bottom upgrade, adds twin guns, doubles the attack speed, blah 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 blah, enhances ballistic missile and plutonium reactor, which is what we just got. So we're going to get this, and it's the same with airburst darts, further enhances ballistic missile and plutonium reactor, so we're going to get that as well. So it won't actually be able to utilize those upgrades in terms of the damage output it gives, but it does buff our plutonium reactor, which means that we do get at least a little bit of a buff. And hey, look at that, we can in fact fit all of our water towers in here. It's a bit of a stretch, but we will now go for an armor-piercing darts, which we happen to have quite a lot of money to afford in the first place, which is great news. Alright, so now we will get an alchemist, but what should we outbuff? I'm thinking we should outbuff the Sky Shredder and maybe the Sniper, because both of those are amazing towers, and if we can make them pop even more balloons with one hit, then that would be awesome, as well as get that faster throwing to keep their buff uptime much higher. Alright, so then we'll get the Stronger Stimulant, and then after we get Stronger Stimulant, Perma Brew is a little bit expensive, even for our budget with the Merchantmen, so we're going to avoid getting that one, but Stronger Stimulant is always on the table. Just an easy 3,000, so it's not too bad. But Perma Brew is a little bit pricey, so we're just going to ignore that one. Alright, but I think we've just about got through this. I mean, 70 out of 75. I guess I'll see you guys at the finish line. Okay, last wave, wave 75. Shouldn't be too difficult for us, but if you are having any trouble, we've got 12,000 left over, so by all means, get another Dartling Gunner, get another Monkey Ace out there, maybe aim for like a never miss targeting. That would help out quite a bit. But we are on to the last map, Cubism, which is actually quite an easy map. I'm surprised they've given us so many easy maps throughout this Odyssey. I figured with Mega Military they'd at least give us firing range, which is quite difficult. Now, we are starting on round 30, so keep in mind, round 30 has lead balloons immediately. So you have to put up something that can defend against lead balloons for round 30. Otherwise, you're just going to lose the very first round and it'll be a little bit awkward. So keep that in mind. I don't know where we want to place Admiral Brickle, but I don't want to place our Merchantmen at the back here, just because, yeah, we're getting them mostly for the money, so it doesn't really matter where we place them, but at the same time, they are a good damage dealer for us. And I love starting off being able to afford Merchantmen immediately. So there we go. 2 Merchantmen should be able to hold us off. Or at least this one can, because he's got hot shots. So that's good, and then this boy can get hot shots very soon after. So Merchantmen, pretty good way to start this off if you can afford it. If not, then you can get one and then place Admiral Brickle somewhere, or place whichever hero you've chosen wherever you want them. So we'll get Admiral Brickle now. Place her around here. The water on this map is very finicky. Like, it's very strange, but the hitbox on it can sometimes work in your favor, where like you can put a submarine like much further up than you think you could, or like much further to the side than you think you could. So we're going to get our submarine down here, get that advanced intel, try and work on that Moab popping power, because frankly it's coming a lot sooner than you expect. 30 to 40 is only 10 rounds compared to your regular start on round 3 or 1 or 6 or whatever game mode you're playing. So you need to be prepared quickly, and having merchantmen helps that out quite a bit. So it's nice that we start off with the extra cash that we need to start going to town on these guys. Alright, so let's get our triple guns. Now, to feel completely safe against going up against a Moab, I want to get the armor-piercing darts, and then maybe put like a Dartling gun around here, or maybe even a sniper around here, or even the plane would do, just so that our sub can see something a little further up here rather than waiting for them to get to here in this point. Like, don't get me wrong, I think we could still pop a Moab even if it did start off seeing around here, but it would just help out a lot more if we had something to give it range further up. Now, admittedly, the towers that we can put on land don't have the best range, but that doesn't matter because the submarine doesn't need much, it just needs a little bit. So we're going to put a plane around here so that the sub can start shooting this area, and if we get our plane to see camo balloons, then we can also get the submarine to start popping camo balloons from here onwards. Alright, so what plane should we go for? Should we go for another Sky Shredder, or should we go for a... what's it called? Spectre. I think we want to go for a Spectre here, just because from the last game that we played, the Sky Shredder did do really well against Moabs, but when it came to ceramics, it wasn't the greatest. So we'll get Never Miss Targeting and go for a Spectre instead. I think that'll be a little bit better for us. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get it right away here, but I have a good hunch that we'll be able to afford it before we get overrun. So I'll see you guys when we can afford the Spectre. Alright, if you've been following along, we should be able to afford the Spectre fairly soon. And there it is. So there we go. We should be pretty much fully protected against anything now, except for when the Spectre completely misses like that. But that shouldn't be too much of a problem, and if you are worried, then you can place a Dartling gun right around here. And this map is a lot of straight lines, so you can just aim him straight upwards, straight up towards the spawn area, and just get, like, maybe even a laser cannon. You know what, we'll go for it. Usually I would go for the Hydra rocket pods, you guys know this, but you know what, I feel like switching it up a little bit, so we'll go for a laser cannon instead, just for the hell of it. I think it'll be quite fun. Alright, so look at this Spectre slaughter everything. I guarantee the Spectre gets the most pops by the end of this. Guarantee it. Alright, so let's get our laser cannon, and then we'll go for the plasma accelerator. It's not too expensive of a 4th tier upgrade, certainly not as expensive as the Spectre, but it's a pretty decent upgrade nonetheless, and it'll make our accuracy completely precise. As you can see, it says concentrate a powerful beam of energy into a single point, and we should be able to do that with a lot of damage coming under the Dartling gun's belt. Also, if you don't have the Dartling gun unlocked and you're still working towards that, I understand it's completely like a new thing to the game. You have to get 500,000 pops, which can take a while. You don't have to use the Dartling gun at all in this. Throw on another boat, throw on another sub, or throw in another one of whatever else you want. Put some bomb towers in if you really need it, or a mortar. And yeah, you can just work with those, because honestly, in all of these maps that I've played and placed the Dartling gun, it's never been necessary. Like, if we get a Spectre, or a Sky Shredder, or any other 5th tier, this guy's not really all that important. So you don't have to worry about needing a Dartling gun for this strategy. It's definitely not necessary, but it is a bit fun, so try and unlock it while you still can. Alright, Plasma Accelerator. Unlocked. And now we've just got a complete beam of energy that we will put at the very start here so that it hits the entire track. But there you go. We can pretty much do this with every part of the track because this is only a 4th tier. It's not the Ray of Doom, which is over 100,000 in cost, so I don't think we'll be able to afford that. But considering it's a 4th tier, which means we can place as many of them as we like, we could just, like, if this was a regular game mode, you could just have one plasma accelerator pointing down there, one pointing from here to here, one pointing from here to here, and just cover the entire track with just plasma accelerators. And you'd essentially just win, because there's really nothing that can get past that. Alright, so we're going to place another sub, because this one's looking a little lonely back here. So we'll give him a friend, a best friend, very, very similar in design to him. And then we are going to 90, so you do need to watch out for certain things like DDTs. That's why I also got the spy plane upgrade for the Spectre, just so that the Spectre can 100% pop DDTs, and it should be able to do it quite well. But just in case it can't, you can always get yourself a shrapnel shot and main Moab sniper, which is incredibly effective against DDTs. If you need that sort of thing, it can at least pin one of them in place long enough for you to be able to sort out the other two and then finish off the last one. Or, depending on how much damage it does, I don't actually know, because usually I never go for the middle cross path. Depending on how much damage this does, it could just pop all 3 DDTs. Now, I doubt it, because DDTs are quite strong and this guy shoots fairly slowly, but you can at least trust him to hold one of them in place while you deal with the other 2. And then you can focus on the final one together as a massive group of all of your monkeys. Alright, so there we go. I think we're just about set up, so I don't really think we need many more upgrades here. So yeah, I think we're just about covered, so I'll see you guys at round 90. Alright guys, we're on round 84. This is not the end, obviously, but it does look like things are getting a little bit hectic for us. Now, admittedly, I think we can handle it, but just in case we can't, you can always throw in something like a sub-commander. That would help out quite a bit. Or, in this situation, I'm going to go for either another... Should we get another Spectre? I think we need to get a Sky Shredder. So, going for a Sky Shredder, we've got plenty of cash left over, so we may as well. And I think that'll just about solve our problem, so now I'll see you guys at 90. Alright, now because of our sniper and our 2 planes, this round should be pathetically easy. Just like that. And there it is. We've finished this Odyssey. The last map we did have 28,000 left over, but we did spend roughly 50,000 on getting another 5th tier, just to make sure we got through that easily enough. But there you go. We've used all 5 of our heroes on every single map. We used some snipers, subs, boats, planes, 3 alchemists. Admittedly, we didn't use the alchemists that much, so you can take out the alchemists and maybe throw in another boat or another Dartling Gunner or a sniper, whatever your favorite is, or whichever you're best with, and there you go. We've finished another hard Odyssey, Mega Military complete. We get 200 cash, we get a 024 Dartling Gunner, Insta-Monkey, which is pretty nice, and we get our usual 50 trophies, which is absolutely what we're doing this for. So there you go, you've got 5 days left. If you follow this strategy guide, or whatever you want to call it, then you should be able to get through it with minimal effort to get these delicious new trophy store items. So thank you guys once again for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, guys.